Welcome to the WOSN Soccer Showdown. We're joined by the LCC Boys soccer team this week. But let's first get right to our player of the week. Had some great votes for a man we'll talk to in a little bit, Sean Daly, as he had 2 goals on Saturday in a big victory against Wapakoneta. We'll have the highlights of that momentarily. But the nod's going to go to an Elida freshman, Hope Carter. 4 goals this week as they hand Wapakoneta their first loss of the season to the Elida Lady Dogs. And they come back with a nice victory Saturday against LCC. 4 goals, so Hope Carter is our Buffalo Wild Wings player of the week, but she's not here, so we will eat the wings in her honor. And we're looking forward to the mild Buffalo Wild Wings and also the Parmesan garlic. Let's dive into what happened this week, some of the highlights we saw on the Sports Report. A big boys soccer showdown between Salina and Ottawa Glandorf. Of course, the Titans made that regional run last year, but Salina, very strong. They beat Bath in week 1, and they take down OG at home, as they are 2-0 in the Western Buckeye League. How about a defensive battle as we move on to the next game between Wapakoneta and Elida? Wapak's been putting up all kinds of goals this season. They had all kinds of great mascot. The Wapak Giraffes, that's their new mascot. Pretty exciting. But the Redskins and the Bulldogs just couldn't get any goals home. This one ends in a 0-0 draw. Elida so good defensively, staying unbeaten at least through Thursday. We will have more on them. Well, no, we won't have more on them. They lost on Saturday, then to Sylvania, a 1-0 game that was at home Saturday afternoon. Let's move to non-conference boys action. LCC with a very busy week. We'll talk to the Thunderbirds here in a little bit, but Bluffton, they have a lot of firepower. Almost got that one by. Ben Steck-Schulte was not in net. We'll talk to him in a little bit, one of the senior captains, as to why that was and why he got back on Saturday. But take a look at this play. The younger keeper comes out and gets it. David Nestor just buries this one into the corner. A nice arcing shot. Bluffton gets the win against LCC Thursday. Thunderbirds turn around as we take a look at Saturday afternoon. Another big contest. And LCC giving some trouble to Wapakoneta. Here's the Redskins putting it in the box, but a nice defensive play here by Mr. Recker. Gets it out. He was okay as far as I know. Was he okay, Coach?
Yes.
He'd get right back up. All right. Here's Jake Williams trying to get through the box, but a good defensive play by the Redskins. Look at this crazy goal. Deflected off the keeper's hands. Daly's first of 2, and that was all that LCC needs as they get a nice bounce back after falling short against Bluffton. They shut out that high-powered Wapak attack. So after all those goals the past few weeks for the Redskins, they get shut out by both Elida and LCC. Finally, some girls soccer action. A good one at the stadium before the LCC boys match. It was the LCC ladies and Elida. And what a season the Lady Dogs have had. They were on our first WOSN Soccer Showdown. The Birds clearing that one out of harm's way. Lindsay Hall did get the first goal right there. And then Hope Carter added the last 2 as Elida goes on the road and gets a nice 3-1 victory after they had beaten Wapakoneta earlier in the week. So that's just a glance at some highlights. We'll go over some big games coming up later on in the show. But let's get right down to our interviews. Brian Burkholder, the veteran head coach, sitting next to me. He's got all kinds of stats from his ace stat man, Frank Terry, about his career statistics and all the guys we'll talk to. Also next to me is Zach Schrader, a senior midfielder, and Ben Steck-Schulte down on the end. Coach, just that one setback so far this season to Bluffton. How would you rate here through the first 8 or 9 games?
We've been solid. We've learned and developed after each match, and we just continue to improve.
Certainly had a veteran presence coming back. So many guys with so much experience. I mean, this guy's been playing goalie since, what, 6th grade for the varsity? It seems like it for Ben. But how much did that help going into a season? Yet you say, we're still growing. We're still learning about our team. What's the dynamic there?
It's been a blessing. I mean, we've had great leadership, and we had 18 guys come back that lettered last year.
Wow.
And that's a great core to build around, and the record shows.
Ben, tell us about being a senior this year, first off. I mean, think back to your freshman year. How do things feel different now when you're on that back line?
Well, when I was a freshman, I played goalie as a freshman too, and it was really hard to try to tell people what to do when I was just a freshman. A lot of defenders were seniors or juniors, and I just didn't feel like it was my place. But now as a senior, I feel like, I mean, I'm a captain too, so I'm just kind of in charge back there, and I feel like I have a lot of control over the defense and I can really help them to just get organized and play better.
So have you been more vocal? I mean, obviously you're a vocal player. A lot of goalkeepers are, but do you feel like you've been more vocal this year?
I mean, I like to think so. Coach always gets on me about it ever since I mean, all 4 years I've been here, that's always been one of my issues. But I think this year I've done a pretty good job at it. So.
Would you agree, Coach? Is
I
doing
would
better?
agree, yes.
Yeah.
You can hear him from the sideline.
I can hear him from the sideline.
And that's very important. Ben, injured this week, couldn't play Thursday against Bluffton. First of all, was that pretty difficult not playing against a rival, a Division III team you might see down the road? And then secondly, how is your health?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm good now. I'm perfectly fine. I played today and I was okay. But, yeah, it was hard. That was the first game I've ever actually sat out in high school, and it was rough, especially to see the game happen the way it did. I just feel like I maybe could have made a difference. But, I mean, I'm healthy now. I'm playing again, so I feel good.
So you're good to go the rest of the season, no more injuries, hopefully.
Yes, sir.
Zach, it seems like every time we get an LCC goal, makes it 1-0, you're the one that scored it. You're a quick scorer. You get LCC started a lot of times. Saturday it was Sean Daly. But how important is that for you guys to get in front and to get a quick goal sometimes?
It's good for the game if obviously we jump out early because first we're more comfortable, obviously. It doesn't put as much pressure on our defense because they know we have a lead by a goal or two. It makes it easier to be comfortable with the rest of the game and build off of that lead.
How are you feeling so far in the season? Just that one loss against Bluffton. Is LCC pretty confident right now?
Yeah, we're pretty confident. We know we have a lot of work to do, but we've played some pretty good teams, obviously, and with only the one loss, we're pretty excited how the season's been going. And practice every day. We just keep getting better and better to prepare for the postseason.
Coach, it is such a tough schedule. I mean, this week, Ottoville, I think they might still be undefeated at this point. We'll have that game for you on WOSN at 10 o'clock Wednesday night. And then St. Mary's, possibly the best team in the Western Buckeye League. What is it like facing these bigger schools a lot of times, night in and night out?
It's a challenge. I mean, we have no league, so we play whoever we can play.
Right.
And when you play the good competition, that makes you better and brings the best out in your players. So we get excited about that.
Now, you're driving all the way up from Columbus. That's where you live now. Putting in all these hours with the team. I mean, a normal soccer coach puts in a ton of hours as well. What's that dedication been like? What's that time been like for you every fall, these last few years that you've been in Columbus?
Yeah, the last couple of years have been a challenge, but, you develop a bond between a coach and your players, and they will go through a wall for me so I can drive 100 miles for them.
Tell us about these last couple of years and the runs that LCC has put together, the history-making boys soccer that we've seen. How has that progressed, and what's that been like to be a part of?
It's been very rewarding. I mean, each season we seem to add a few more victories on the positive side, and we try to get out of Lima into the tournament, and we've been pretty successful with that. We have our goals set for this season to do some positive stuff, and hopefully with guys like this we'll make that happen.
Ben, who would you say is your biggest rival? As a goalie, how did those rivalries progress? Are there frontline guys, attackers that kind of jaw it up and maybe that's a rivalry, or is it just this is a good team we're facing?
Well, I mean, I can't think of one specific team, but there are definitely teams we play every year that are challenging, like St. Mary's, and just played Walpock. So, I mean, I personally, maybe someone else can, but I can't think of one specific team that's like our biggest rival. But there's definitely a lot of teams that we know going in that's going to be a good, intense game. So.
We will ask three more LCC T-Birds when we return on the WOSN Soccer Showdown. Lima Central Catholic, just one step back thus far on the season. They're hoping to keep it that way for a long, long time here on WOSN. Round number 2 on our WOSN Soccer Showdown. A couple of guys took some Buffalo Wild Wings. We will feast on these, although you guys didn't mention mild or Parmesan garlic is your favorite. Got some Asian zing flavor down here. And what'd you go, spicy barbecue? Yeah, we'll see. But let's get right to our rivalries, because you guys were giving Ben Steckschulte a little hard time. You had your list of rivalries. Matt, who are the rivalries for LCC?
We got quite a few. Liberty Benton's always one. Bluffton, Walpock, St. Mary's, Elida. Basically, our whole schedule is a rival.
The whole schedule is going down.
Every single one.
Luke, would you agree with that assessment?
I would. Everybody loves to play LCC, and we love all the competition that we have on our schedule.
All right. Well, what's this meant to be a senior this year, Luke? How have things felt different for you?
Well, I started my soccer career at LCC last year as a junior, and we had a limited amount of seniors last year, and I took on somewhat of a leadership role last year, but I've taken on a big leadership role in the mid this year.
You guys are so strong in the mid. What's it like to have all that experience there, controlling the ball, controlling the game?
It really sets our offense in motion. We run basically everything throughout the middle, and it generates everything. It generates the whole offense and we get it out to the sides, and the wings do a good job putting it right back in the middle so we can score.
Sean Daly, you're another one of those midfielders, senior, been playing since your freshman year, right?
Mm-hmm.
What's it like now as a senior? How have you seen that midfield really come together?
Just the way it functions now, it's a lot smoother than it's ever been, I feel like. It's nice having Matt as, to complement it, so we just look for each other, and then we send it out to Zach and Jake and our other forwards.
You had quite a few votes on Twitter for Player of the Week. I'm sorry we didn't give it to you, but you will get to eat the wings. Is that a nice consolation?
I think so.
Okay, we'll give it to you that. Matt, another senior, another captain. Just how has this senior year gone for you so far?
I think it's been pretty good. I think it's pretty fun just thinking back to the past years and how we've improved. We always look to get better at practice, and it makes it fun.
Speaking of fun, we've got a good story here of the Lima senior game. Your freshman year, Matt, can you take us through what happened with Mr. Daly here?
Well, there was a scramble in front of the goal, and the ball went past Ben, I think. And all I saw was Sean just dive at the goal, and I think he might have swiped it out with his hand.
Do you contest this?
Yeah, I disagree. I dove on the ball, and then Ben came and got it a few seconds later. But
was it ruled a goal?
No.
No goal?
No goal.
Should it have been ruled a goal? Was it across the
No,
line?
I don't think it ever crossed the line.
Okay. But you thought you were a goalie, didn't you?
No, I used to play goalie. That's probably why.
So it was a natural inclination to dive on the ball, and you've only heard about this, I'm sure.
I've only heard stories.
Okay, the legend of the play against Lima Senior a few years ago. LCC, a big week. They will take on Ottoville. We'll get to that in a moment, but let's quickly get through our schedule. It's a double week for the WBL girls. They will play Monday, a good Bath, Wapak Showdown, St. Mary's Elida. Among those girls' games, Ottoville boys take on Continental Monday. Also Thursday, Wapak Salina girls, St. Mary's Bath girls, Anna Allen East girls. Some big boys games. Tuesday, we have Miller City Kalida and Putnam County League action. Finley Lima Senior, Wapak against Bath, Elida against St. Mary's. As Coach Dave Ring for St. Mary's got his 100th win this last week. So congratulations to him. Shawnee and OG will be our WOSN game. You can see Wednesday at 7, and then these guys against Ottoville you'll be able to see Wednesday night at 10 p.m. Is that a rivalry game, Sean? Ottoville? No?
A little bit.
A little bit.
Well, normally I think we've split it. Our freshman year we lost. Sophomore year I think we beat them for the first time ever.
Okay.
And then last year we lost again. So hopefully we'll win it back again.
1-1-1. Something's got to give for these seniors that have been playing since freshmen. Thanks to Coach Burkholder and the guys for stopping by. We're going to feast on Buffalo Wild Wings, and we'll see you next time on the WOSN Soccer Showdown.